We are live.
Show with Pons and Dan in a TV flow. Geeks for sure with tales to tell. Every Sunday is pretty swell. Good times here, you'll want some more. Remember days you can't ignore. Kids and family, friends so dear. Join us now, the crew is here. On the artifact, save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, flips, all revere. From days gone by, epic moments never die. Internet was such a blast. Fun with friends, let's make it last. Time to laugh and time to chat. Geek out hard and that's a fact. Sarah's here to add the spice. Memories that feel so nice. Love the artifact, save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, flips, all revere. Joy and cheer, flip side, flip, let's all revere. Movie shows from days gone by, epic moments never die. Internet was such a blast, fun with friends, let's make it last. Time to laugh and time to chat, geek out hard and that's a fact. Sarah's here to add the spice. Memories that feel so nice. Like the artifact, save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, flips, all revere.
Hi, everybody.
Greetings from South Carolina.
How do?
It's Southern California.
And about as far northeast as you can get without going into Canada. Cape Cod represent.
Awesome. I'd like to say hi to everybody in chat. Hi, everybody in chat. In both chats. We're simulcasting on two wonderful channels, almost as stations, not quite, but channels, okay? And also the other one is Pons. He's epic AF, and if you don't know him, you better know him because he's like awesome. There you go. And so yes, welcome everybody. And Gary, again, happy birthday coming up Tuesday.
Today we're here to talk about the incredible actor Gene Hackman and all these really cool movies. I'm looking forward to this. I have to admit, in preparation for this, after his sad passing, I was really unprepared. I said, I'm going to talk about Gene Hackman. I knew a few of his movies. I didn't really think he had made that many. And then when I started looking him up, I found out this man made a lot of movies. And a lot of them I missed because a lot of them were crappy, honestly. And I didn't watch them, but he made some really good ones, and that's the ones we're probably going to talk about here today.
When you have a very, very large catalog, it's statistically impossible to not have some that were bad.
That's true, though.
You know, I want to speak to something Garrett said earlier on. I think a lot of us were introduced to him first in Superman, even though he had been around for 15 years at that point. Lex Luthor was his. There was before Lex Luthor and after Lex Luthor.
You see, because I'm from a movie family, and I'm older. I'm way older than most people, including everybody here probably. I knew who he was before then because I guess the first time I seen him was when he made that Bonnie and Clyde movie with Faye Dunaway.
Oh
Because
yeah, I saw that too.
my stepdad was a big Faye Dunaway fan, so whenever it come on, I watched it, and he was like Clyde's brother-in-law in that movie, and you got to really see his dramatic skills, if you want to call it that. But I thought he was a good actor, and I knew who he was. And of course, being from a law enforcement family, when that their French Connection come out, that movie got watched every time it come on TV on a Saturday or Sunday. It was like a family event. So I knew who he was from being Popeye Doyle way before the Superman stuff. Way before, you know.
Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, I think it came out when I was in second grade, so I didn't
Yeah.
see the French Connection probably till I was in high school.
Well, I didn't see it when it come out, and it come out.
But you
I was only like 5, but when it by the time I was 7 or 8, it was one of the movies that come on one channel or another every couple of months. You would see it on the Saturday afternoon matinee, or after the part 2 come out, it was the double feature on Saturdays on a channel at least once every month or 2.
Oh, Caden's taking off. Hey, Caden, thank you for joining us. Take care of yourself. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, definitely. She's awesome.
You're gonna miss all the good stuff if you leave.
She'll catch the replay.
We
Somebody,
barely started.
before it's over, me or Sarah won. We'll embarrass ourselves.
Oh yeah, I work hard to do that all the time. I just exist. I'm good.
And if you don't, I'll embarrass both of you for you.
But no, we embarrass ourselves. You just freeze up in funny poses. Like,
And then I'll embarrass you later for that.
Yeah, I call it the police squad conundrum.
Right. See, that's really cool because, like, I love Police Squad. How they just did the freeze frame at the end, and then they would just run the whole credits, and they're like, you know, but they're frozen. That's great.
And of course,
Brilliant.
speaking of police squad, Leslie Nielsen played the short-lived captain in one of the greatest disaster movies of all time, The Poseidon Adventure. And if you want to talk a high watermark for Mr. Hackman, he was absolutely outstanding in The Poseidon Adventure. He really was.
hey, that's another one of his movies that I've seen.
I did not.
Yeah.
Sarah, you haven't seen The Poseidon Adventure yet?
Turns over and stuff.
Listen, Ponzi, you gotta forgive me, okay? I've lived a very life that, you know, my parents Mormon, right? They just don't watch movie thing, right? And then by the time, you know, we ever got cable, I'm like a teenager, and trust to believe parties were more important. And you know, I'll catch up eventually someday when I get cable again, maybe.
Well, that's
Fair
okay.
enough. Fair enough.
I'm currently 243 movies behind on stuff I need to watch. That's just on the YouTube channel.
Hi, Tracy.
You know, I'm not
Tracy.
counting DVR
Tracy
and
Turnblatt.
DVDs.
What was that, Dan?
You count DVRs and DVDs, I'm 1,000 movies behind.
Yeah, well, I once paid for a DVR for myself, right, one time, and I filled it up with just Star Trek stuff, and then I realized that this was a mistake. So I got rid of it because I'm like, well, I've already seen all these, but I can't stop saving them. Star Trek, everybody. Yeah, it's my weakness. It's my kryptonite.
Esmeralda hates water. Don't see Jaws either than Esmeralda.
Oh, I love water. It's awesome. It's all wet and stuff. It gets everywhere.
drink
like
it.
sand. Oh,
Well, that's not good. There's this thing called a bath
I don't drink bath water.
and a shower.
I love the Steve Wright line.
Mm-hmm.
I like to stand in my shower and turn the plug up and pretend I'm in a submarine that's been hit.
You know,
But
I absolutely love the beach and the water, and I would love to live there if I wasn't in mortal fear of tsunamis and bad hurricanes and all the horrible stuff that goes with living at the beach.
Yeah, you guys get terrible hurricanes down along the
Apparently this
Mid-Atlantic.
week, the fires.
Oh,
yeah,
well, then you could use a hurricane to put the fire out.
Yeah. Well, our beaches in South Carolina this week are having brush fires everywhere.
Ironic. That's irony for you. Up here in Cape Cod, we get hurricanes, But the last hurricane we got was like 30 years ago. And guess what it was called?
What?
Hurricane Bob.
Well, that explains everything.
Man, that one sucked. 6 days of going to bed by candlelight, eating ravioli out of the can. It was 6 days before we got power back on. And around day 4, when the water pressure started to go down, that's when I started to get worried. But hey, all's well that ends.
You're still here today.
I look at it back as an adventure.
Yeah,
right.
It's an adventure.
I was only disappointed in one hurricane, and I was really disappointed with Hurricane Kirk. I was hoping, that Hurricane Kirk would blow through here a little bit and visit, but no, Hurricane Kirk went out to sea and went to France, and I said they should have named it Hurricane Picard.
Priceless. Jean-Luc. Oh, hey, actually, Danny, do you remember Hurricane Hugo?
Oh, yeah. I was in a college dorm during Hurricane Hugo that blowed down. It destroyed the dorm I was in my room, and 2 other rooms were the only ones out of 100 that didn't get total destruction.
Crazy,
Lots of people got hurt, too. It was horrible. It was a nightmare. And by the way, and just so we make it clear, I left the beach area the next day and have not been back since. Another reason I don't go to the beach no more. Hurricanes suck.
That was back in '89, wasn't it? That was like almost 25 years ago.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah. But John Collins is here. Johnny, how we doing? I finally got John on the phone today. I was so proud of myself. I've only been promising him for about weeks that I'd call him.
Yeah, I finally called Esmeralda back, and I've been trying to call her back for like 2 months. I swear. I still owe her another phone call.
Yeah, we have a backlog. I still owe you a couple more.
Yeah, I'm
I checked it out because my memory's real sketchy anyway. But, since I had strokes, and it was in '89.
Was it '89?
But it was a late hurricane. It came in September and did massive destruction to the coast.
You can get hurricanes almost into November.
You can get hurricanes. It's a misconception. People don't realize you can pretty much get hurricanes anytime. Anytime the water warms enough for the tropical storms to develop, then you can have hurricanes. And we have had some winters that were so warm that they actually had hurricane-force storms blow in during December and January.
Wow.
It has happened. Rare, but has happened.
It'll be less rare the way things are going, I'm sure.
Well, usually anything that close to winter winds up in Galveston or Texas or Mexico, and don't usually hit the continental United States.
Yeah.
There's a really sad story. There's a man who invented a device. This is around 1906. He invented a device that tracks hurricane patterns. And he saw this massive one heading towards Galveston. And he warned the people to get the hell out of Dodge, to leave, come back after the storm, because this is going to be a bit. And they laughed at him. They go, how can a machine track the weather? And Galveston was like literally ripped off the map. And the sad thing is, even though the man warned the people, he still spent the rest of his life kicking himself. I should have tried harder. It's a very sad story.
Well, and if you want to hear that story really well told, check out the History Guy on YouTube. I don't know if you ever checked this guy's channel out.
Which one?
History Guy on YouTube tells some wonderful historical tales.
I will. It's a great story, and I didn't tell it very well. So what Danny said, go to the History Guy.
Yeah.
You got that channel? I'll send you a link later, Pons. You'll like this guy.
I certainly will. Oh, and Mr. Collins, Johnny, my buddy here. We're talking about the works of Gene Hackman. What's everyone's favorite movie? What do you think his best performance was? We're talking about the works of Gene Hackman tonight.
Yeah, are we? Because I don't think we've even started talking about the works of Gene Hackman.
We did. We got sidetracked. As always, our tangent had a tangent. But while we're on the subject, so we all know like the movies that really turned us on to Gene Hackman were. What's everyone's favorite Gene Hackman performance? What's your go-to? No wrong answer.
First, Pons. You go first while she thinks. You go first while I think it over and she Googles it over.
I'm not Googling anything. I don't have time for that. I'm hitting buttons.
My go-to for Gene Hackman has got to be Young Frankenstein. Probably because it's my favorite comedy of all time. And he's only in one scene. He's in that one scene where he plays the blind man, and he plays opposite Peter Boyle's monster. And the scene is just so well done. It's so well timed. And remember, Peter Boyle's not saying anything, so all the laughs are done with Peter Boyle's expressions. And Gene Hackman, he's actually really convincing as a blind man. Like he's really, you really think he doesn't know what's going on, which is the jokes. He's like bumbling because he has no idea what's going on. And for some reason, whenever I think Gene Hackman, that's always the first thing I think of. I mean, yes, of course, Lex Luthor, Poseidon Adventure, The Birdcage, they all come to mind. But boom, Young Frankenstein is my go-to.
Okay, that's a good pick because I liked his very limited performance in that movie too. Once again, it was a very small part, and it's hard to picture me being my favorite because it's just so tiny. It's like it's not even a guest starring role. I'm not sure.
Walk on. It's a walk-on scene.
There's a word for that, though. What do you say, Sarah? You going to go with the Superman stuff?
Okay, yeah, because I'd have to say, because of the simple fact that I am just a child up here, growing up, I probably saw him in other things, but I first remember him, like, the whole thing, right? Remember him, it was Superman, for sure. I loved Superman. That was a great movie. I enjoyed him a great deal. Then they made the third one. I was like, what happened? I don't know. But there was that one good first movie. That was awesome. I loved it. Gene Hackman was awesome in that. In fact, I use all Lex Luthor's. If they're not cool like him, they're not good. So I haven't found any Lex Luthor's at all that were good because Gene Hackman, number one.
I will give him that. Of all the Lex Luthors, I've only seen one guy I liked a little bit better as Lex Luthor than Gene Hackman. Only one guy, you know.
Boom.
Well, in the Supergirl series, John Cryer did a Lex Luthor that I thought was freaking perfect. I mean,
I haven't seen it, but I can see him doing it.
Yeah, just Google some of the scenes where John Cryer plays Lex Luthor on Supergirl. They're on YouTube, and you'll go, "Oh my God, he's great! He's brilliant!"
Awesome.
And I'm not really a fan of his, so that came out to be a surprise to me.
Oh, and Johnny Orchard's here, and apparently he wants us to sing Cameo. So word up, it's the code word. No, that's a joke. What you were looking for was Cameo performance, but Cameo was the good
okay, yeah. I'm just
song Word Up. Speaking of Star Trek,
Cameo.
Jodie LaForge is in the music video for Word Up. He plays a cop, but
I guess that leaves me, and I'm going to go with my favorite Gene Hackman performance, being opposite Will Smith in Enemy of the State. And I'm not sure if it was the acting in that movie or just the whole wonderful plot of the movie is why I like it so much. About the government is always watching you. And I thought it was really deep, really intense. And his character in that movie was my favorite character in the movie.
Well, it's easy to shine when you're going up against someone like Will Smith. So Gene Hackman's who's a wonderful star. When you put him next to somebody who's a dim bulb, he will shine even brighter. So that's probably why he was so good.
Yeah, working with Will Smith don't always work out. You ever see Wild Wild West?
Oh, bringing that movie up, my eyes bleed every time, my ears bleed, and then also I cry because the original series was actually really, really freaking good. I can think back to that movie again because you keep bringing it up.
Well, I don't really like that movie that much either, but that giant spider was cool.
Second worst adaptation of a TV show in human history. That movie it's bad on so many levels. They couldn't even get Miguelito Loveless right, and Miguelito Loveless was one of the best characters, one of the best recurring villains in that series, and they botched it. Kevin Kline did try really hard. He tried really hard. He failed. But just the movie was just such a poor adaptation. And everyone says, oh, because Will Smith was black? No, that was the least poor adaptation part of the whole thing. He just wasn't Mr. West.
It's just a crappy movie?
Not quite. Yeah, that might have had a lot to do with it at the time.
But he was also dreadful. Like he was just, he was just dreadful, terrible.
We
I
saw
don't,
that
I
movie,
don't think
right?
he'd ever seen an episode of the show. Honest to God, when I'm watching this, I go, "Have you even seen a single episode of the show?" I don't think he
You
did.
should have been required to watch at least 2 seasons.
I know, and who would be required to? It was an amazing TV series. Dun 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 dun
If
dun.
It
you're
was
going to make a
awesome.
movie, whether you like it or not, you should be required to watch 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Just so you know the material you're working with, I think. That's my opinion.
There you go.
I think even Tom Cruise watched a few episodes of Mission Impossible. He didn't care, but he
I don't think
watched a
Tom Cruise
few.
ever seen a movie
See,
of his
I'm
life.
trying to be that critical when it comes to movies. I always look for the good points. So let me point out, they had some really great costumes in that movie. I mean, they had them guys dressed
All right,
good.
Yeah, they did. But still. But yeah, Gene Hackman is good at Enemy of the State.
Oh, and the music wasn't too bad. Not horrible.
But here's a sleeper hit, and I don't know how many of you folks have actually seen it. Hopefully, someone has. Anyone seen Uncommon Valor with Patrick Swayze?
I'm
not sure. Sounds familiar.
Yes, it's a retired Army officer whose son was lost in Vietnam, and he puts together a team of mercenaries, most of whom are veterans, to go back into Vietnam and rescue a group of POWs that are being used as slave labor. Remember during the 80s, that was the whole thing, thanks to like Rambo and other Vietnam.
Didn't they have something about a Chuck Norris movie being a ripoff of it, and they wouldn't have over it or something?
Missing in Action, yeah.
Yeah,
there were a lot of films
about that movie.
But Uncommon Valor is actually good, and Patrick Swayze is actually pretty badass in it. But again, Gene Hackman is the guy who puts the whole team together. He's just amazing.
That's one of the movies I remember seeing once with one of my military relatives or something, but not being real impressed by. And by the way, that's probably not nothing to do with Gene Hackman. It's my eternal hatred of Patrick Swayze.
I actually like the guy, but okay.
I can see why people would hate him, but yeah,
I don't care. There's 2 guys I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy that slides across the floor in his underwear, and Patrick Swayze. Even though there's a couple of Patrick Swayze movies I can tolerate, like Ghost or Roadhouse, I'm not a big fan of his work.
Fair enough. But he's good in this, and it's funny you mentioned seeing it with a member of your family who's in the military. I had an experience when I saw Invasion of the USA. Invasion USA. Speaking of Chuck Norris, I had an uncle. God rest. He's no longer with us. But I had an uncle who was a tunnel rat in Vietnam, and he never, ever, like most of the veterans who saw like really scary stuff, never spoke of it. In fact, I was always coached, don't even ask him about it. The only time he ever referenced having been to Vietnam was in the movie. One of the foreign mercenaries says a naughty word in Vietnamese, and he told me what he said. And that's the only time I ever let on that he had actually served in Vietnam.
A lot of the horror movies, which is mainly what I watch, do not have Gene Hackman in them.
TD, I haven't seen you in forever. How you doing, TD?
Hey, TD.
Hey, TD, just so you know real quick, Dan, let me interrupt you real quick. TD, just so you know real quick, I need to get a hold of you because there's a few times that Pons has asked me to how you were doing and stuff, and I was like, I don't know. I hard to get a hold of her. So, let us know how you're doing, please, and also let me know when you're free again.
It'd be nice to work with you again, TD. Nice to see you.
Yes, go on, Dan. It's fine.
Sorry, Dan.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I lost my train of thought anyway.
It was Vietnam.
Yeah, Vietnam. The Vietnam War was an honor.
One of the reasons I hadn't seen that many Gene Hackman movies is I watch mainly for my taste. I watch a lot of mysteries, horror movies, the occasional cop action movie like Die Hard or something. I didn't watch a lot of the movies he made, which seemed to be a lot more towards drama-based stories.
Yeah, I don't think did he even do a horror movie? I can't think of a single horror
movie. I haven't actually went through every one of his movies and made a list of the ones I heard of and didn't see, and the very short 25 to 30 movie list of the ones I actually did see. And I kept going, well, no, he wasn't in no horror. He made a couple of space movies. He might have made a movie that borders on science fiction. And the
Marooned.
thing I can find a horror was the pre-mentioned Young Frankenstein.
Mm.
Oh yeah, but that's really a comedy. But yeah, he did a movie called Marooned about a botched space mission, and they have to put together a rescue team.
Like
on
I
the
said, he
fly.
did some space movies and some.
Yeah, that was Marooned is the
A
one that
lot
I've
of
seen.
his stuff, is like Under Suspicion or Runaway Jury, or a Western like The Quick and the Dead or The Unforgiven. Them are ones I've actually seen. Closest you're going to get to science fiction is probably the Superman stuff. And once again, a lot of cop drama stuff, like the Bonnie and Clyde stuff, French Connection.
Of course, French
A
Connection.
ton of law stuff like The Firm and Extreme Measures.
I love the fact that he was in Ants, and it's funny that he was in Ants because
in a cartoon with Woody Allen.
well, anyone who was in that movie, anyone who did a voice, was actually had some connection to Woody Allen. Sharon Stone was in one of her first on-screen appearances was in a Woody Allen movie. She played a girl on a train that smiles at him. Sylvester Stallone plays a guy who tries to mug him in Annie Hall. I forget the name of the movie. Gene Hackman. He had like a walk-on or a cameo. Thank you, in a Woody Allen movie. But yet, everyone who has a voice in that had some connection to another Woody Allen movie.
6 Degrees of Separation of Woody Allen. Ah,
yes. And I'm not going to touch that.
A lot of people don't want to touch that.
Yeah, and many people wouldn't want to touch that. Oh, I'm sorry.
too soon.
You got a lot of places with that one.
What's up, Brian? Good to see you.
Yeah, I've seen you forever. Yeah,
we're doing well. Hope you're doing well too, Brian.
Yeah, and you're right. Also, I lost my train of thought. Sorry, I was going to say something probably very profound, but forgot now. So, anyway, moving on.
That never happens to me this time of day.
I had no train of thought, so I had nothing I could lose.
Yeah, empty. Original Mission Impossible.
I don't know. It's been a long weekend because that time change messed with me. I was unaware that it was happening, and it kind of threw my whole schedule of my body's working system off today. And I've been like DDD all day.
Yeah, I've been in a fog. I've been in another world. I don't know what it is, but I've been in another world.
See, I didn't realize because the phones change automatically.
Mm-hmm.
But I did get up during the night and look at the phone. And then later on got up again, and I was like, boy, it seems like I was laid down a little bit longer than that. I couldn't quite get what was going on. When you half asleep and everything.
Right?
Plus, I was up really, really abnormally late.
Yeah, well.
That's weird. You know what? And it's funny because I was watching TV with Mrs. Thrash, and I just kind of you get a little groggy. I just kind of laid over to rest my eyes, and I woke up. It was 4 a.m. I'm like, so I fell asleep around 9 o'clock last night. Wow. You'd think I'd be well rested, but when I get too much sleep, I actually get groggy.
All I know is I made it to dinner. I ate dinner, and then I woke up this morning, and it was 7 o'clock this morning, and I was like, well, I slept the whole night through, and I'm still very tired. Not a good sign. So, I think I went to bed around 10, maybe 11 at the latest or something like that. Yeah. Anyways, and I forgot about the time change too, but fortunately everything that I look at already changes automatically, so. Oh, yeah.
Was Gene Hackman in Killdozer? I just saw Mike's comment, and I'm like racking my brains. I can't remember. I've seen Killdozer. I don't remember him being in it. I don't remember the film, TD. I don't remember that film. Sorry.
Well, I'm sorry. I was slightly distracted by the train of irritating people rolling through my general area.
Your neighbors?
Did I say that out loud?
Oh, I think somebody got flipped off camera.
Oh, thank you for dropping that link, Tracy.
Well, I'm doing a live stream outside, and sheltered carport area with the great outdoors right beside me, so I can smoke and not bother nobody. And it's right by the door, and people going in and out ain't got enough sense to use the other door, apparently. But don't worry, after the stream, I'll make it apparent they should.
There you go.
Well, yes, it's funny. Zuplex mentioned a movie he did with Al Pacino, and I'm trying to remember the name. It's set during the Depression, and it's just about these two guys who are both rival hitchhikers who end up teaming up, and it's just like really, it's like something out of a Steinbeck novel if it was raunchier. And what, Shadow Down or Showdown or, but yeah, Zuplex, I did see that movie too. It's a great film.
I think that's another. That must be on the list of movies by him I missed.
Yeah, it's kind of it's really dark. Even for like one of those 70s cult films, it was kind of dark, but it's
honestly, when I think Gene Hackman, even though I liked him in Enemy of the State, I guess I would better remember him for these other cowboy movies, like Wide Earp and The Unforgiven and that whole Geronimo fiasco.
Mind zero.
Geronimo fiasco.
He plays a Polish general in A Bridge Too Far.
Yeah. A Bridge Too Far is pretty good.
It's a great movie. It's fairly accurate. They took some liberties with it to Hollywoodize it, but it's fairly accurate, and everyone in it is at their best. Even Ryan O'Neal, who's a hack, even he's in it. But Hack Man plays a Polish general, and he actually did really well getting the accent right. I thought, at least I did.
I love South Park. That's an awesome movie. That was great. Good time.
The one thing I wished I had seen that I have not seen, but I've seen a few clips from it, even though it seems somewhat disturbing, is the Royal Tenenbaums. I don't know if anybody's seen that or not.
I think I might have almost watched it one time or did. I don't know. It was one of those things that I cannot. Anyway, I remember.
In preparation for this show, I watched about 15 minutes of it in short clips, like 2 and 3 minute clips. And some of the stuff they showed seemed somewhat disturbing. So I have to watch that movie all the way through. It's wild. There's this whole 4-minute clip where he totally puts these grandkids at the most death risk of dying ever, having them out riding go-karts on the street and just all kind of horrible stuff.
That's a Wes Anderson movie, isn't it?
Cannibal Holocaust. I just talked about that one earlier.
I wasn't even familiar with it.
Work my frontal mind.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know he was in it till he passed away. I saw it on the news, and then I thought, what is this? It was one of the
Last House on the Left is actually a very, very, very early Wes Craven flick. The final scene of that movie is not for the faint of heart, by the way. But that's actually based on an old Swedish urban legend. In fact, Max von Sydow is actually in a Swedish version of it, which was made by where's Indy Spouts when you need them? By the famous Swedish director whose name eluded for a moment. I'll remember it in a minute, but carry on without me.
All right.
Carry on without you.
Indeed.
All righty. Another one of them Westerns I thought was really good was The Quick and the Dead.
Well, yeah. That's a great film.
It's like he did 4 of these Westerns all in a row back in 93 and 94.
Bergman was I can't believe I couldn't think of it. Bergman was the director whose name eluded me at that moment. Now, thank God, that would have driven me up the wall if I couldn't have thought of it.
Yeah.
I have never seen his first 6 movies.
Really?
Wow.
None of them.
Oh, everybody! We got our special guest.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, my brother. My brother.
I just finished scarfing down dinner so I could make it.
Cool. I didn't even finish my lunch so I could be here. So there you go.
Well, there you go.
Somebody can bring me a sandwich in my room there, geek.
It's on its way. It'll be there in 3 to 6 business days.
3 to 6 business days.
Great. You know what? I shouldn't have asked. My fault.
Oh, speaking of Max von Sydow was in Hawaii, not in the state of Hawaii. He was actually in the movie Hawaii,
That's Gene Hackman was in the movie Hawaii.
which is why someone brought it up.
Max von Sydow also played the
That's
devil
one of
in
the
Needful
first
Things.
6 movies that I was talking about when Doug showed up that I actually have not seen. There's 6 movies, and I'll go through them real quick. Mad Dog Terrorizes City, 1961. Lilith in 64. Hawaii in 66. Covenant with Death in 67. First to Thought, 1967. And a movie called Banning in 1967. And then the same year he did that Bonnie and Clyde movie that I did see. But that's the 6 movies that come out that I've never even heard of.
Well, don't feel too bad. I haven't seen any of those except Hawaii. Hawaii's the only one I've seen.
I did not see Hawaii.
I missed them all. Like I said, I actually thought his first movie he was ever in was Bonnie and Clyde. I didn't know he had made nothing before. And at the sporadic movies I had heard of or seen him in over the years, I thought that was all he did.
My mother, Mama Thrash, actually saw Hawaii in the theaters, and the story goes her older sister took her, and they had to leave because the scene when they were sacrificing the babies, my mother actually threw up in. Supposedly, if I remember the story correctly, please correct me, Mom, if I'm wrong, but apparently it was a very emotional segment for her.
Oh, wow. Sacrificing babies. I might check out Hawaii.
Yeah,
I missed that.
It was a disturbing.
If I'd seen it, I definitely would have remembered it.
That's a great movie. Oh, and by the way, yes, TD, getting back. She mentioned Norm Macdonald. Yes, it was. Right before he died, I saw his last special, and he didn't look well, but he still was on his game, and he is a heavy casualty. I still think I love Michael Shea and Colin Jost. But if I had to pick who the best Weekend Update person of all time was, it would have to be Norm Macdonald.
It's obviously Norm, yeah.
Yeah, the only one. Everybody else is I can't say.
I like Dennis Miller.
Chevy Chase fan.
Well, you remember Dennis Miller actually had. They actually made a show that was essentially Weekend Update.
Yeah, and just for Dennis Miller.
Exactly. Well, it didn't work because it's hard to carry an entire show like that. Jon Stewart makes it work, but it's hard to carry a whole show. But that's basically what he tried to do. But yeah, Dennis Miller was great.
So we got to get Tug caught up and let him answer the questions that we went through earlier.
There are questions.
What's your questions? I don't remember that either.
You don't remember?
Well, the one question I had, there were 2 schools of thought. What is your first Gene Hackman film that you really remember him from?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And what is your favorite performance?
Yeah.
So not necessarily the best movie he was in, but the movie that you really think of him in.
I said
no wrong
Superman.
answer.
Okay, well, the first movie I remember him from is Superman. Specifically Superman 2. Because I used to watch the Superman movies as a kid, obviously.
So young.
Because you were cool.
Probably my favorite I think of Gene Hackman. This is the movie I tend to think of.
That's crazy.
That's tough. Probably either Unforgiven or The Conversation.
I did not see either of those.
Yeah, those are great movies.
I saw The Unforgiven. I've seen a lot of Westerns, sadly.
He makes such a great Western bad guy, and he's not in nearly enough Westerns.
That's what I said. I remember him more for Westerns than I did anything else besides that one really cool Will Smith.
There's even that one really terrible Western with Sharon Stone, but he's in it, and he's great. That's The Quick and the Dead, I think is what it's called. Yeah.
Well, he actually went through that little period in '94 where he made like 4 Westerns in a row.
Yeah, he was good at it. He should have done more.
Let's see what the names of them was real quick.
Well, wasn't there like a Western Renaissance going on at the time? Isn't that like
he did
very briefly? Yeah,
he did The Unforgiven, Geronimo, Wide Earth, and The Quick and the Dead in '93 and '94, '95. All right back to back. It's like he was on a Western bend. I'm gonna do some cowboy movies right here, boy. Gene Hackman done got his cowboy on.
I also really liked him as the ultra conservative senator who had to dress in drag for the birdcage. He was really good in that.
I did not see the birdcage.
I need somebody to bring that up. I didn't do it.
It's the only movie where you can see Gene Hackman in drag, so that's your thing.
There's another movie no one's brought up either. Oh, am I talking for somebody? Go ahead.
Hackman movie where he's in drag.
There's another one.
There might be. I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
Next show, we'll find out all the ones where he's in drag and critique it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in so many movies. I wouldn't be surprised.
It might be in a movie called Mooseport.
I remember it's Welcome to Mooseport.
Welcome to Mooseport or something.
I don't remember.
I went in expecting to see something else like Northern Exposure, and was all disappointed with that movie.
Oh,
Northern Exposure was a movie? I thought it was just a TV show.
TV show, yeah.
Well, they took episodes together and made a movie, but it's like a VHS thing for a premiere starter episode thing. But when Welcome to Mooseport, I thought was going to be something like that, and it wasn't. Nothing like that.
There's one movie that no one's brought up, and I'm really surprised, probably because they don't think of him in it. They think of another actor.
Dude, it's hard to bring up every movie because he's got like 253.
Well, in this case, the movie is No Way Out, the Kevin Costner Cole Noia film.
I don't like Kevin Costner. I never have since I was a kid.
Although
Kevin Costner movies and Kevin Costner makes me want to barf. But I have went back in my older age and watched like Prince of Thieves and The Postman and Aquaman, where he's swimming around under the water trying to collect some crap. What was it? Okay, I can't remember the name of the one where
Waterworld.
Water
in the water. Waterworld.
I was at a search convention when I was an 8th grader, right? And that movie was going to come out, so I saw that trailer before it was released everywhere. That one, Outbreak, Apollo 13, Tank Girl, and I've seen all those movies except for the stupid Waterworld because I have standards. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, of all the movies you mentioned, I like Tank Girl better than any of them.
Tank Girl is awesome. It's awesome.
Tank Girl's a great movie.
And poor Lori Petty. The movie wasn't even written for her, but there was some contractual problem, so she had to get stuck in. And I thought she did an amazing job, but that movie was poorly marketed and just. Unfortunately, it should have been her big breakthrough film, and it was not. And I was
like I told Doug before, and we talked about that. Is I think I like movies that failed in the box office a lot better than the ones that made it most of the time.
Oftentimes, are the better ones. Although, when you try to make a movie, and I'm going to set the Marvel universe aside for a second, or some DC heroes, when you make a movie based on a comic book, you're almost setting yourself up for failure. Because the only people who are going to see this movie are fans of the comic, right? And if you miss it by that much, they're going to hate it. I mean, Under Howard the Duck.
Hey, sounds true.
Okay, well, you see right there. It was Howard the Duck was not a good choice to even make a movie back in that time period in history because you had the animal bestiality thing going on, and a lot of people. Even people who are real acceptance of crap look down on that when it went, oh, that's too far. Let's make roast duck, And I wasn't a Howard the Duck fan, and I didn't like that movie too much.
I liked Howard the Duck. I finally saw it a few months ago. I'm telling you,
let me just do it straight up. Back in the 1980s, 90% of the people didn't want to see a hot chick banging a duck. Okay?
I still don't want to see that ever again, but I like the movie.
I'm
sorry I brought it up.
I had small children then.
Shame on you,
I had small children who went to the theater with me to see this movie, and I had to explain to them Howard the Duck and a girl. And
you didn't have to go into such graphic detail, though.
You wanted to make sure you ruined the childhood. I told you that.
I didn't. I thought of it was like a stuffed animal. Give it a hug. Okay.
But again, Tank Girl varied wildly from the source material, which alienated the fan base. Who, again, were the only people who were going to see it in the first place. So the movie kind of cut its own throat. But it's a pity because, again, Lori Petty did an amazing job in it.
But you look at so much of the superhero stuff. Just take a look at it. the stuff that come out in the 80s now with your 2025 eyes, it don't look that great, like the Captain America TV show. Even though Lou Ferrigno turning into the Hulk might stand up still a little bit better than most shows. Some of the stuff where Thor showed up, that probably in Daredevil showing up, probably don't stand up so much. And then there's that whole Fantastic Four debacle that almost got made. I've actually seen
it was made, it just never went to the theaters.
Yeah, they just never released it. You can find it online.
Yeah, I too have seen it, and I was just like, yeah, I was like,
just what?
And the whole reason they did that was to hang on to the rights to it. They needed to make a movie, but they weren't ready to make the real movie. So they made a bad movie just so they could keep the rights to gear up to make the good movie, which they ended up not making.
Even though it was cheesy and it didn't have the best special effects, I did like the Spider-Man thing they did a couple of seasons of. I didn't hate Spider-Man, and I thought Shazam and ISIS was probably even better than most of the real shows they had on Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until way later that superhero movies really took on a new look and started to become cool. A lot of people would go to superhero movies now with the special effects and stuff they do than people who did back then.
There's a reason why we brought up Tank Girl. I can't even remember. It's like we had a series of tangents there. There's a reason why we brought up Tank Girl, and I forgot what
I'm still trying to catch up. So
I always talked about Star Trek Convention. Sorry. Trek again. Sorry.
My mind goes so fast I can't keep up with it.
Well, we'd all know a lot more about Gene Hackman if he had played a part on Star Trek.
Yeah, if he did, I could have told you everything, and then why he showed up like 10 minutes later. So I would, sorry. Dang it, Hackman.
Proof that not every actor has been in Star Trek.
That's
crazy. Happy birthday early.
That's inappropriate.
Why do I get the urge to check that fact too, just to make sure?
No, check. Oh, Form is Content. How you doing?
Hey, everybody that I haven't said hi to, but hi, everybody. It's good to see you all. And remember, if you have a wrench on my side, drop your links always. And if you got the ability to drop links on Ponza's side, drop links for people too, because we all need to grow and be awesome together. Except for this Dan over here. He doesn't do that kind of stuff. He's just like, don't subscribe to me. I don't have any material.
And I can't imagine there's one of us in the chat that isn't already a member on Dave's channel. But if you're not, please. In fact, somebody, Tracy or whom, drop a link for Mr. Sundstrom in his channel. Please.
Yes, I taught her how to drop links. She's well versed in link dropping. She's a professional now because
official. Gene Hackman was not in Star Trek.
There you go.
Never said he was.
I wanted to make sure.
You just wanted to make sure. Got it.
You can't give
he wasn't Star Wars though.
Happens too much in this world, so I want to be accurate about something. He's definitely not in it.
Oh, and yes, Arc 2 was a fun little show. Probably the first kids post-apocalyptic TV show.
And I don't think Gene Hackman was in it neither.
And Gene Hackman was not in it. Although I had a crush on the girl.
TV shows that Hackman was not in.
Yeah. It's a shorter list.
Also, everybody on my side, if you're blue already, you can just click on the person's channel and go straight to it yourself if nobody does drop links, because I have it set up so everybody can just grow on my end while we do everything, because guess what? We're all stronger together and we have the good times like in multiple different places. And so we need to share them out and have more good times with more people. There you go.
I'm relatively sure I heard Chance Bartel say that Gene Hackman was in an episode of The Invaders once.
That's true. He did mention that.
Yes, I heard him say that
last week.
It just clicked in my mind that maybe he did do some science fiction, spacey stuff on TV. Because I've just been checking out his movies. I have not checked out his TV.
Jean Marie. Thank you, Dave. Jean Marie was the young lady who was a sexy older woman back then. Now I'm a dirty old man. Funny how things change.
Yes, Thursday nights we party a lot. Yeah, like, real quick here, I'm going to do a distracting thing here. Tracy posted up on Facebook publicly, so I can say it. She got a job and she went to LabCorp and they treated her like really poor, right? As they're taking her fluids. And I told her I hope she passed her drug test from being on the panel Thursday. She didn't get a contact high. So cross your fingers, guys.
And I'm frozen. Who had 54 minutes?
You're
4
frozen.
minutes.
You look
You had
very
4 minutes.
disapproving in this pose.
I don't know. He
I'm
looks
gonna leave
a little
it.
bit more perplexed.
I wouldn't have said 54 minutes. I'd have said 62. I thought you were going to make it over an hour, but
Yeah,
that's
he
why
did
he waited
so well
long.
on my stream. He made it like almost the whole hour and a half.
He'd get more.
Yeah, I don't know. God forbid I make it through 2 shows in one day. But like I said, I'm going to leave it because I kind of like the mug on my face in this one. I look very reflective. Only you can prevent forest fires.
You're just so disapproving of it. You did what? Terrible.
Oh, I'm in shock. Oh, I thought they said I was in the shack. And I'm like, I wasn't in the shack. I don't do Christian film.
Shack, baby.
Oh no, that was a movie.
Oh, the shack.
I'll get with you,
Not Shack,
Geek
yes.
Culture 101. I just found this guy's channel. I like it. He also doing AI music along too. And I'm telling you, yeah, I think I dropped you my email. So email me and I'll
Good
get
night,
you
Dave.
connected with people and we'll get
Night, Dave.
more panels going and do more things, everybody. I mean,
Everybody, we're all doing things.
there you go. I swear, not evil genius. Just no. You know what? I'm not going to talk anymore. You guys talk now.
Oh, who are you kidding? You're not going to stop talking, Sarah. Let's face facts.
Yeah, you throw it. Right?
Hey, Tom McCluskey's here. Hello, Tom.
Hey, Tom McCluskey's back.
Yay.
Hey.
Good.
I assume we talked about the Poseidon Adventure already.
The what adventure? Never heard of it.
You know, the one where that big boat turns upside down.
Yes,
There's
yes.
got to be a morning after. Take it, Sarah.
I know.
If we can. And then it, of course, it had the most disappointing sequel of all time.
Beyond the Poseidon Adventure.
Beyond.
So we'll have to see the Poseidon Adventure. I'll probably watch it and be like, I've seen this. And I will never have known because
It's such a
titles are
weird concept. You take the Poseidon Adventure and you make it a heist movie.
Yes.
Hey,
There's
a
gold
trivia-
on the Poseidon.
Here's a trivia question.
most
for you
welcome, I can't
guys,
type.
real
Ooh,
quick.
trivia, love it. Go for it.
Quick question. Can anybody tell me the last thing Gene Hackman appeared in before his untimely demise?
Ooh.
Honestly, no.
Mm-mm.
Give me a second. I'm going to say.
Like, I didn't even know he was still alive or dead until I found that he was dead. I'm seriously.
I'm going to say a TV interview about his retirement.
No, I'm talking about the actual last full length feature.
Darn. I was hoping you'd have to accept that. Darn. I don't know.
Movie he was in.
Sadly,
I don't know. I have no idea.
You know, most people would have said Superman in 2006 and say, wow, he's been out of the spotlight a long time, right? Or the Royal Tenenbaums. But he actually did something in 2024.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know about this till
Neither did I.
last night, and it's called Superman, but not a compound word. And it's a 2024 documentary.
Oh, the documentary. Yeah, about Chris Reeve.
He actually did filming for it in 2024, and it'll be the last time when it comes out that he's ever appeared on camera.
Alive.
Oh, yeah, well.
I'm going to hell. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. Too soon.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh, crap. That's me. Bad timing,
Boo this lady. Boo her.
It's going to be quick. Boo. Hiss.
Yeah, it's too soon. It's too soon for Hackman jokes.
Well, nobody told me
Only a
that
hack would do
backstage.
What?
What about David Lynch jokes? Is that okay? Still too soon? Okay.
Paul, did you not learn anything just now?
The Black Dahlia, the dude said for Black Dahlia jokes.
You know what?
No,
Those are
that's
some
like-
side-splitting jokes. Let me tell you.
Oh, we're terrible people.
Yeah, I'm sure
She was beside herself with that one.
There you go. Such a cut up.
All right. Anyway, so I think we have a topic. Let's get back to that.
A topic?
What about that Keanu Reeves football movie where he was the coach? What was that? The Replacements. I actually like that.
Oh,
Okay, see, I had a hard time watching that movie because I was like, Keanu Reeves doing football is like, hey, I'm football man. It's like, I don't stop that. It does not work.
You know, I actually have a vague memory of something about that movie. I think the memory's me getting frustrated and going, "Oh God," and turning the channel.
I like that movie, but it's mostly
Maybe-
like
maybe I
Orlando
saw it,
Jones.
but it
and,
didn't- Maybe I saw it, but it went by about 4 times faster than usual.
Well, anyways, yeah, so I could not see Keanu Reeves doing football. It did not work for me. I lost me on that one. I do remember Gene Hackman was in there. I remember his face, but then the Keanu Reeves would show back up, and I was like, oh, dude.
Well, you know, like it was a movie about football. And when I watch a movie about football or baseball, even if it's hot chicks playing baseball, like that One Tom Hanks movie or whatever, and
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
even if I'm watching a good one with hot chicks, it still winds up getting 80% fast forwarded through because I just can't take a long, drug out, crappy sports movie.
Right? You know what one of my favorite sports movies of all time was Goofy's sports or football or whatever it was. Anyways, Goofy. That was awesome. Got me
There was
from
a
the
really
beginning
good one.
to the
There
end.
was a really good one called The Longest Yard when I was young. But
Classic, yeah.
The
which
original
one?
was
There's
great.
two versions.
It's like the only
No.
one I could ever sit through that didn't make me totally sick.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming you mean the one with Burt Reynolds.
Zuper's
Yeah.
bringing up a good
That
point.
was good.
It
Hoosiers,
wasn't too bad, but it wasn't as good.
The first one was
Hoosiers with
great.
Gene Hackman. Hello.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Another one, you
You're
know.
all emotional.
Fast forward.
But I'm a hockey guy. I like Slapshot. I like Miracle. I think those are two of my favorite sports movies.
You fast forward.
Oh,
You know
so
those great movies about shot put? Me neither.
Tug, I suppose you heard they fired the head coach of the Boston Bruins.
I just don't like sports movies. I watch
Is there a punchline coming?
They did. I'm not making this up. I was watching a TV show and they broke in with an emergency message with the news, and I go, "Oh my God, World War III started. What took them so long?" And they were like, "Head coach of the Boston Bruins is fired." And I go, "You interrupted Family Feud for that?" But yeah, that shows what sports fans, people in Massachusetts are. They interrupted regular programming for a news blurb about the Boston
Happy birthday,
Bruins.
Gary.
They're so mad about trading Brad Marchand or something. I don't know, man.
Yeah, well, there was one good sports movie. There was one good one. It was a football movie. It had Bruce Willis in it. And I never will forget some football
gun?
player running down the field and pulled out his gun and shot the guy trying to
Shot his
tackle
way
him.
into the end zone. Yeah, I remember that.
Well,
The
now, that
Last
was a
Boy
good
Scout.
sports movie. Last
Everybody
Boy
remembers the
Scout.
first 5 minutes, but few people remember there's a whole movie after that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
I remember,
TD,
I remember Bruce Willis dancing a jig above a stadium somewhere.
TD brings up a point that Norm Macdonald played Burt Reynolds on SNL, particularly in
yeah.
the 3 bits. It's so funny because every now and then I watch like old, like they have on the Buzzer channel. I watch like old game shows from the 70s because it's
yeah.
all the old celebrities and stuff. They had one with Burt Reynolds, and he chews gum and has this very aloof attitude. And when they ask him a question, it takes him 30 seconds to respond. No, you know, if you thought Norm Macdonald was doing Burt Reynolds perfectly before, if you actually see Burt Reynolds when he's actually on a game show, you're like, oh my God, that's exactly how he acted. Where he got the name Turd Ferguson is still beyond me.
If you want to see Burt Reynolds act like Burt Reynolds, sit through season after season of a TV show called The Evening Shade. I
Oh,
swear
he
to
was great,
God,
Richard.
it's a long, boring show about Burt Reynolds and his front porch, and a lot of jokes. Burt Reynolds sitting on his front porch and a lot of jokes, and it's just Burt Reynolds being Burt Reynolds. It's called Evening Shade. It was a long, drug-out TV series, and I swear to God, the only reason we watched it is because Burt Reynolds was on it. Because there's no other reason on earth to sit through this.
Are you kidding? It had a great cast. It had Hal Holbrook. It had Ozzie Davis, Jenny, Lou Henner.
Mary Lou
Oh,
Henner.
Thank you. Mary Lou Henner was in it. It had an amazing cast. The
Yeah,
woman from
but it was a really sucky show about a front porch. His whole show was basically everybody sits around and talks and drinks mixed drinks. It was Burt Reynolds being Burt Reynolds with his friends.
So it's like you on your front porch now. Right, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a good show. Got it.
only they had a porch light.
Except he talked to these idiots walking by, and I don't.
Gary, if you're gonna be around Thursday, that's when I go live again. Is Thursday, and I'll be playing the Happy Birthday song for everybody in March, since I didn't do it any other times this month, because I'm a lazy person. Sorry, everybody. Gary's birthday is on Tuesday. Make sure you tell him happy birthday. He's gonna be numbers old, so it'll be great.
Happy birthday.
Anyway, so yeah, I had to throw it out there. And I think somebody else had a birthday on Tuesday as well. I forgot now. They were in another chat recently saying that too. I already forgot. But yeah. All right.
Are you doing some Googling?
No, I'm trying to catch the stream somewhere else to see. Like somebody said I had bad reception or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you look great. It's what you've been fine on my screen.
Yeah.
You look. I look fine on. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Flash ain't been doing too good up there.
I'm just frozen. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna pop out and come back in. I'll be right back. Okay, guys.
Okay, Zuper was just saying I had bad reception because I had to step aside for a second to go make sure my son gets in the shower.
That's more information I need to know. Okay.
Look, he's a 16-year-old boy. You know, if you don't tell him to get in the shower and use soap, he's not going to.
That seems like
you didn't raise your kids like I raised mine. My kids would get their ass up, they get ready for school, they get themselves off to school. They knew better than to really bother me. Hey, if I made them breakfast, they were lucky.
Yeah, well, usually Child Protective Services tends to frown on the whole cattle prod thing.
No. Usually, I wasn't gonna get up, so I just leave them some money on the bar, and they grab the little money and they go buy breakfast at school or lunch at school and stuff.
Well, at least TD's got my back. Thank you, TD.
If I told you what else TD said, you would maybe question things. No, I'm just kidding.
No, TD's awesome. I love TD. She's great.
We all love TD. Who
I
doesn't love TD?
Remind my kids to take a bath or a shower or none of that. They made sure they done it. I had to remind them that to get out of the water after an hour because they're running the water bill up, skyrocketed.
Yeah, I mean, once you get him in the shower, then the hard part is getting him back out again. But I don't worry about that one so much. If he stays in there for a couple hours, at least he'll be a little bit cleaner.
When I was a kid, my thing was I used like tub toys to the next level. I had like rubber dinosaur monsters and like boats and stuff, and I would reenact the Battle of Trafalgar, with monsters and aliens and.
Wait a minute! I saw that movie. It was Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Don't you tell me.
A second. I gotta reacquaint my brain to you moving again, Thrash.
Okay, don't care. We'll acclimate slowly.
Yeah. Let me put this back the right way. There we go.
And I'm back. There we go.
Awesome.
Okay, my brain caught up.
I used to do the Godzilla thing in the bathtub when he was like really, really little. When he was like 2 or 3, dun, 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 have a Godzilla coming out of the bubble bath. Yeah.
Awesome.
All
right, anyway, she happened, right?
Everything goes well to Godzilla.
Yes, I found that out too. I can put that music to anything. It's awesome. I mean, anything. And I have.
I'm going to stop letting my mind wander there.
Probably for the best.
Rebel, you tore your dress. Rebel, your face is a mess. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he did. You got reanimated.
Bowie fan from way back.
Oh, yeah.
You know that album's actually based on 1984?
What?
Anyone?
What? What'd you say?
How?
The song I was singing by David Bowie is actually
Oh.
from an album that's based on 1984. Guess what the name of the album is?
I don't know.
1984.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, no love for Bowie.
Look, I love Bowie, but all the albums I have of his are like greatest hits or compilation albums. I don't have any.
I
like,
have zero
specific
David
albums.
Bowie.
I think I have the Labyrinth soundtrack somewhere. So
Dance, magic dance, magic dance, magic.
I
dance.
recently saw that finally. I was that movie.
Take that
Very
baby,
No,
make him
I have
free.
David Bowie. I have David Bowie CDs,
Mm.
but I could not tell you which ones I have. But
yeah, I just
do
have a bunch of greatest
I
hits
haven't-
CDs and stuff.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think I pulled a CD out of that CD case to listen to in 12 years.
Oh
I
wow.
just, if I want to hear a song, I just pull it up on the TV or YouTube or something. I don't play physical CDs no more much.
Yeah, my wife
here.
still listens to physical CDs, but yeah, I've become addicted to YouTube music. It
I've
knows
become
me
addicted
better
to
than I
making
know
my
myself.
own.
Yeah, I know it's
Yeah.
so much easier. It's
It
so
is
much
so much
easier.
easier.
It's so much easier.
It'll just be playing random songs, and eventually it'll find something that like I haven't thought of in like 25 years. I'm like, wow, it knows me so well. It knows songs I've forgotten.
Well, you probably frequent a lot of old timey stuff.
What can I say? I'm an old
Old
man.
timey stuff.
What I hate is when I'm not searching for a song. I'm just talking about it with Mrs. Thresh,
Yeah, that's creepy.
and it comes in the algorithm.
Yeah,
My mic
absolutely.
wasn't on when I said it, supposedly. So yeah,
Supposedly.
that stuff creeps me out.
That's a running
That
joke in
happens
our
a lot
household.
too, boy. It happens a lot to me.
It does
I
happen
mean,
a lot, and
I
they
don't
swear
even say
they're
it
not
out
listening.
loud, man. I'll just be thinking about it, and there it is, something popping up from it. What the heck?
Stop lying to us. We know
I know,
you're
really.
listening and reading our thoughts.
You know, I'm an open book. I'll say to your face whatever I say in the privacy of my own home. I don't keep secrets. I just, and not because I don't want to. I'm just not very good at it. But the point is that you're listening to me bugs me. You know? And stop saying you're not when you are. Fine, we're listening to you. You see, I told you.
No, I think is weird is beyond all that, right? It's something that I only thought in my head, right? Only in my head. And there's no reason because I haven't said anything that remotely like it, right? And then boom, it's in either Facebook or YouTube. And I'm like, no, I will not even think about that now. It's creepy.
It
Yeah.
knows.
I'm like, it's reading my
About-
mind now.
About a week
Right.
ago. Now, I used to watch the Simpsons all the time, but I haven't watched it in years. I usually work on Sunday nights, or I used to. And when I'm not, I'm actually on YouTube. So it's like, I don't watch the Simpsons. I'm still a fan, but again, kind of get out of it. Haven't looked up anything on YouTube
the
Simpsons
movie
related in
done now.
probably 15 years, maybe 12 at least. So it's not like something that my algorithm is really going to favor. The other day, we were in the living room. I was on the computer. Mrs. Thresh was just sitting in a chair, and I was talking about, hey, do you remember the presidents came up? And I go, do you remember that bit they did with the play? It was a spotlight of the U.S. presidents, and they do a musical number called the Placeholder Presidents. And William Harry Harrison, I died in 30 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was just talking with Mrs. Thresh about it. The next day, it was in the algorithm for me.
Look at you.
Funny, I actually played a South
Meow.
Park song. I played a South Park song today. I played Kyle's mom.
Great stuff.
I have
the funny
that
thing
one.
about the South Park movie is,
on my StreamYard.
There's actually, I was watching a thing where the guys who do the music for South Park were doing a live show somewhere, and they were doing them songs live on stage. It's weird.
well,
Nice.
it actually holds the spirit of one of those old 1930s musicals. Most people don't realize that. But like with the pacing and the staging and the character development and stuff, it's like an old 30s musical.
Ah.
That's not much of a factoid, but it's the only one I got.
There you go.
Although ironically, war with Canada is more likely than it's ever been before, so that makes it culturally relevant.
Well, yeah, but
Canada,
I
we're
will be
sorry.
singing. Listen,
We are
no,
so
no.
sorry, Canada.
Yeah,
Don't
please
blame us.
stop sending
Don't-
the geese. We
Yeah,
surrender.
and don't bomb the Baldwins because that will start everything off bad. Okay, I don't know why they're so important, but don't bomb the Baldwins. Thank you.
Can't mess with the Baldwins, man.
Yeah, don't mess with them. They'll shoot you. Sorry, too soon.
Too soon?
No, it had to be said. It was the elephant in the room. It had to be said.
Is it too soon for that?
It's never too soon for
No.
that,
I don't
guess.
think so. I don't think it's ever too soon to make fun of Alec Baldwin.
And now he has the gall to complain that his 5-bedroom penthouse apartment isn't big enough for them.
Wow.
My
Yeah.
heart bleeds. It's 4,600 square feet. You have to add
Wow.
the entire floor to my house
I
to get to
admit,
that one.
sometimes you need just a little more space.
Anyways, Gene
4,600
Hackman.
We need breathing room. Earth, Hitler, 1948.
Leaving
Yeah,
strong.
Something you want to say?
I said space.
Good night, John. Enjoy your writing.
Oh, John, one thing before you leave. I got to tell you, and I want to announce this to everybody. I have read. He sent me very nicely. Sent me a copy of his book, Ghost Hunters. I have read it. I love it. And this week I will be dropping a review of it. And John, thank you for the book. It was very generous of you.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. And cool,
Nice.
right?
Thank you.
Well, I should bring it up while we're talking about books.
Right.
Yes.
This week.
It's not a contest, Dan.
Oh, once again, I did this earlier. I want to do it again. I want to thank my subscriber named Savalis for hooking me up with this really cool book I'm going to read.
That looks really good.
Yeah, it looks like somebody I know wrote it. Named
Is it by E something? I can't. Magil? Is that what that is?
I think it was blah, blah, blah. There. See?
And I've heard this book is really good from quite a few people. And I brought it up on a live stream, and one of my really cool subscribers actually, for some reason, sent me the book.
I love Telly Savalas. I'm glad he sent it to me.
I love really good subscribers who send me books.
I never sent
And
you
they
a
have
book.
good taste in literature. I can tell you that.
Yes, I've heard the reviews on it are 10 out of 10 or whatever that review system is. Bestseller, whatever the heck. It's on all the book lists, that's for sure. Not the burning ones either, just the keep ones.
Thank you, John.
Oh, and why did you mention Telly Savalas? He asked.
Hopefully, I'll make a couple of videos about some stuff.
What did you say? What?
Oh, you brought up Telly Savalas, who is a great actor, but I didn't get the context of why you mentioned that
Because
you love.
the guy who sent it to him, his name was Savalas or something.
Savalas.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not
I didn't read
Cialis.
the package. I was
Hey,
in
not
the comments. I'm
Cialis.
sorry.
I was just riffing.
I thought we were going back to Poseidon Adventure 2 because he's in that. He's the bad guy.
Telly Savalas' last name, Savalas. I don't know if it's his last name or his first name or his whole name, and he's like, sure. He never really reached out and told me all that stuff.
But you didn't get his date of birth, his social security number, his bank of information?
No, he's one of these people that sends me stuff, but it always has like an Amazon return address. I don't even know where he lives.
I still think Corey's Comedy Challenge is the best thing. Corey's Comedy Challenge.
Right there, boy. He's an international man of mystery that sends stuff. I don't even know if he's in this freaking country.
Okay, I gotta go. I'll be back.
Uh-oh. Okay. You gotta go play daddy. That doesn't sound right.
Hopefully, we'll be here when he comes back.
Really?
Filthy Rich. Why is there a bell ring in my head? Filthy Rich. That reminds. I can't place it though. Oh well, it'll probably hit me. Ah yes, there was a little known show called Filthy Rich. Yeah, it's ringing a bell, but I can't place it. There was a show called Filthy Rich and Pat Flap. That was a BBC show.
About the Invaders, I wished I knew more now about what Gene Hackman done on television and his special appearances.
I think it was in The Fugitive too. There's a bell ringing in my head. I think it's The Fugitive.
You know, the funny part is Chance would know the answer to all these questions.
Yeah, where is Chance?
Atlanta.
Yeah, life.
As far as we know.
Atlanta, yeah. I'm actually waiting. He's in episode 4 of that new show, Grosse Pointe Murder Mystery, but he's in episode 4. So we're waiting for episode 4 to come out because my wife and I, we want to binge watch it because the main reason we want to see it is to see him. So, but anyway, told you out there, yes, our friend Chance is actually in this new show, Grosse Pointe Murder Mystery, which I guess is pretty good. Sadly, what is
Author
not pretty
expression.
good is, have you guys heard about the new Millie Bobby Brown sci-fi extravaganza?
No.
Apparently, I haven't
Yeah, I've
seen
heard
it,
it.
so I can't speak to it.
Yeah,
But
I've heard it's terrible.
Yeah, it got like 0 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel so bad because she's trying so hard to reinvent herself, and this is not good. You know, I'm sorry for her. Yeah. But such are the fortunes of
Yeah, she needs a new agent. Like she's not a bad actress. She's actually pretty good. But everything that she's been in outside of Stranger Things has been pretty awful. And I say that as a Godzilla fan, and I like the Monsterverse, but her role in the Monsterverse movies is pretty awful. So, I don't know.
because her husband is Bon Jovi's son, maybe they should form a husband and wife musical act like Tim Buck 3.
Okay, Thrash, you're a Rod Sterling guy, Thrash. Have you ever heard of a Rod Sterling TV show called Patterns?
Patterns? Maybe.
Patterns.
No, I'm not really familiar with it.
There's actually an anthology series from 1953 by Rod Sterling called Patterns. Looks like it did a couple of seasons, and you'll find Gene Hackman playing in some of these episodes.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I mean, I knew the show existed. I've never actually seen it, but I know.
I've never actually seen it. I've never even heard of it. But apparently, Gene Hackman didn't do a whole lot of TV stuff.
Oh, Tracy, that's on Netflix.
There you go, Tracy, Netflix.
Yeah.
He did some DuPont.
Yeah, they own
Theater
Millie Bobby Brown, I think.
He did some episodes of DuPont Theater of the Week, and he did some episodes of Patterns, a Rod Sterling anthology series. He was on a few episodes of something called Hawk, a TV show in '66. And Brenner in 1959. It looks like Brenner was some kind of detective of police shows, and he's a rookie cop in training with a bad attitude for 25 episodes. I never knew about that.
He's a cop with a bad attitude. Every movie ever.
Okay.
In a world, every movie ever.
In a world.
So many things I always feel ignorant when I come up with stuff I've never heard of and didn't even know about. And I guess that's how you learn. But learning hurts.
That's why I minimize my
learning. So does life.
I need to learn stuff. I'm supposed to know everything.
Well, sorry.
You know,
but anyways,
really
Gene Hackman.
You know it all if you don't know everything.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
I actually wrote a book about the fact that I know everything. It's called The Man Who Knew Too Much. Somebody already wrote that. I knew that.
All right, yeah, awesome.
my favorite line is still because so
Rod Sterling show called Patterns. I thought Twilight Zone guy, you know.
Well, like I grew up, I was like obsessed with Rod Serling, like his life story, and like I wanted to know everything about him. So like I read a couple of biographies about him. So I've heard of Patterns, but I never saw it.
It just blows my mind that there's so much Rod Sterling's whole like almost 2 seasons of TV shows out there that I didn't know nothing about and never seen of, never heard of. I'm surprised that didn't make ponds freeze up.
Well, about 2 freezes a day now. So
I remember he wanted to do things on anthology TV that the networks wouldn't let him do.
Yeah, that's why he went into sci-fi horror.
Exactly. Yeah. When he set things in a science fiction setting, he could get away with more. So it was probably from his experiences with Patterns that made him conceptualize the Twilight Zone.
Probably, yeah.
It's probably his experience doing that show that made him never do nothing else like it ever again.
Well, he did do the Night Gallery.
Yeah, he
Night
did
Gallery
Night
is like
Gallery.
the same thing.
Night Gallery is a little bit more on the horror side than the sci-fi
yeah.
side, but it's still basically the same idea.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
You know,
super awesome.
Really, after that, his movies he made 1 or 2, maybe a space show or a space movie, but he never really did nothing with monsters or no science fiction or horror movies. Or
he is responsible for one of the greatest twists in cinema history, though. He wrote the first draft of the Planet of the Apes movie. and he's the one who came up with the whole twist ending that is so
Yes.
famous.
Mhm.
Yeah, he did a lot of script cleaning later in life. Like he would take a script and he would fix it up and not get credit for it. He did a lot of that kind of work. Yeah. Anyway,
Maybe he should have been in some of
Better,
them movies
101.
fixed
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Are you frozen or are you just okay? You're not frozen.
No, I'm just being reflective.
Gary Carpenter, aren't we all?
Yeah.
Dude, was it last Thursday? Yeah, last Thursday I found a
Oh, my light's
for
not
that.
on.
I
You can't
found
see
a
my
really good
Godzilla.
Godzilla picture of Godzilla and weed. It's just weed. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I asked,
Godzilla.
I asked Pons if it was him, and I didn't really get a response. But I asked Dan the same question, and Dan was like, "No, it's me." So it's Dan. The
Oh, no.
whole time.
I wrote you back. I said Budzilla, and you gave me a thumbs up. Do you remember?
Oh well, then I don't remember that. Must have been busy.
I was like,
As close as
Budzilla.
one of you guys said I did this for breakfast.
Godzilla.
You know what it looked like? Now that you mentioned, speaking of Rod Serling, it looked like the beast from 30,000 Feet because it was all puffy because of the weed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
And how the beast was like not beast.
Well,
Terror.
Godzilla was originally envisioned as a giant smoke monster, like the smoke of a mushroom cloud.
Mushroom
so
cloud.
it all kind of comes around, you know.
yeah, but weed is way better than a mushroom cloud. I trust and believe that.
Either way, you're blown away. So
Every once in a while, some really good mushrooms do come around. They blow in on the wind.
All right, so Gene Hackman. Did we cover that?
he was never in a Godzilla movie. I can't.
No, he was
confirm.
not. And Godzilla was never in a Gene Hackman movie.
Yeah.
Frankly, guys, I think we're sort of like hitting the sides of the barrel here. And we're coming up on the 90-minute mark, so I think perhaps we should gala Serre. You know?
Wait, what'd you say? Do what?
Say la guerre. I said gala Serre, but I meant say la guerre.
Oh, okay. Well, because that's not my name, but all right.
That's not my name.
Gay Sarah.
That's not my name.
I'm very happy. Look at me.
Hey, Sarah.
That too. Yeah, it was a serenade. Whatever.
Oh, one thing, by the way, I don't know if any of you folks still go to R&G's watch-alongs, but I said hi on behalf of everyone the other day. She was doing
Good
one
Girl?
for Dark City.
Oh,
And,
I missed
I
that.
love
Oh
Murder
no,
Girl.
I loved. I have to go back and watch that one because I love.
Yeah, I couldn't say the whole thing, but it was an absolute blast. So Retro Nerd Girl, a shout out to you. And also, by the way, Keith E was there. And we haven't seen a lot of Keith E lately, but I just wanted to give him a shout out because we haven't seen him in Keith. We still think about you, man.
Oh
Shout
yeah,
out, represent.
he's epic. Mm-hmm.
I think every show we should give at least one shout out to a person we just
Nice,
don't see
Christian.
a lot of much anymore.
Yeah, we should always do shout out everybody. Hi everybody. There, see, I did it.
So somewhere between one and everyone.
All right.
That
Bye, PD. Bye, everybody. That's already saying goodbye. Okay, so I'm gonna hit
Peace
the
and
end button
chicken.
then. Oh, yeah, wait, does everybody have what's coming up next week, guys? What do you guys got going on?
Well, I'll be dropping my review for Ghost Hunters, but I have no idea when. Probably after I film it. And I am going to be, of course, doing another show. Actually, no, I'm going to take a hiatus because next weekend, we're having a I'm going to visit family in Plymouth. We're having a celebration of life for my late Auntie Lori. Who, if you want to see my Auntie Lori, by the way, there's a Burt I. Gordon movie about the whole Salem witch thing where a girl from modern times gets possessed. Anyway, my Auntie Lori is in the beginning. She plays Sarah Good. So that's her claim to fame. She was in a Burt I. Gordon movie.
That sounds
called-
good.
She plays Sarah Good. She plays Sarah Good in a movie.
No.
Really,
Sarah
it
Well.
sounds-
She plays Sarah Well. You mean?
Well,
she
Sarah
does
Well.
she does a very nice job of playing Sarah Good
That sounds good to me.
in a Burt I, as in not I, as in capital letter I, Gordon movie called Burnt at the Stake, meaning a wooden stick and not a piece of cow meat. There.
Okay.
I beat that to death, haven't I?
All right, so
I don't know.
Okay,
Third grade.
So,
all
yeah,
right, so
I'm actually not going on next Sunday. If you guys want to fill in the gap, I would more than understand.
No, man, we're all gonna take a week off except for
No,
I'll
I'm
be on
still. I've
Geeks.
got to do a thing on with
I'll be
Chant.
on Geeks in the morning. So
Yeah.
there you go.
unless I'm on Tug Show next Sunday, I won't be on nowhere.
I was
It
gonna
all
say,
depends
so-
on whether or not you want to talk about Superman 3, Danny.
Does it?
If you want to
Who
get
does it?
somebody really take a dump on Superman 3, you can have me on.
You'll make Chance so sad, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not a fan.
You make it sound so difficult.
I mean,
Oh, we love
to me,
Chance. Okay.
I saw your video today. That was really good. Well done, man. But to me, Superman 3 is like a giant smoking turd. I swear it is, man.
It's my job on my channel to be positive, so I
everybody
tried to
listen.
stay as positive about Superman 3 as I could.
Okay,
Tracy might have a show.
Hey,
Tracy.
I can be positive. Richard Pryor was pretty funny in that movie.
There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty funny
Richard
seeing
Pryor
Richard
was
Pryor in a
awesome.
Superman
Man, it was a
movie.
Superman movie, so didn't
That's about
work.
the most positive thing I can say about it. At least they wasn't some Kenny kid running around irritating everybody in it.
It was better than Supergirl.
Mm.
Really?
You know,
No, it wasn't because look at Supergirl.
I mean, yeah, Supergirl looks better than Richard Pryor, but I mean, it's Helen Slater.
The jig is up. Oh my god! Really, with a straight face. Come on. You know? And she even has the.
it is nowadays. All right.
But I don't know,
Okay.
man. You guys make me want to cover Howard the Duck next. So
Oh, please, God,
Right
no.
on. Right on. I
Please,
have
God, no.
yes. Don't sit down. He's crazy.
April's my guilty pleasure month, so I might do it in April. We'll see.
Well, if you do it in April, I got this guy named Eric. If we can get him on, it's Howard the Duck is literally his favorite movie.
Yes, it is. And the way because I never wanted to see it, but then I heard Eric talking about it, and I was just like, oh, well, that's the first person I ever said anything good about it, right? Then when I finally watched it, I was like, this is actually pretty cool. What? I like it. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense in so many ways, but I'm not trying to be educated on that. I'm just trying to enjoy myself.
I mean, to me, Howard the Duck and Superman 3 should be a double feature of poop.
Whenever I think of Howard the Duck, all I can think of when I worked in the video store, we sold Howard the Duck, and you know how remember videotapes? Sometimes they would record them on the super slow speed, so they'd use less tape.
Yeah.
And they were very low quality, but they were cheaper. And you could actually tell you'd pick up the tape, and it wouldn't be very substantial. Anyway, I remember my wife came in, and she was basket case because she had lost a stone out of her engagement ring. And I was like, more than understand, like, things happen. Don't worry about it. I didn't pay a lot for it. I'm trying to console her, but she is literally hysterical, like sobbing and crying. And this guy comes up to me and goes, hey, can you tell me if this Howard the Duck is on SP or LP? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that product. Anyway, hon, will be okay. Well, you work here, don't you? Yes, sir. Well, you should be able to stand by your product, but we don't produce, we just sell. Right. And I can't tell you because I don't know. Sorry, sir. And he like wouldn't let it go, and he kept interrupting me. And I'm like, will you just word I can't say on this network? And I'm like, literally, he would not. And I finally said, I go, sir, buy it or not, I don't care. I don't know. Usually, sometimes they'll say, they don't always. But if you have any question, it's a $6 tape. You don't want to take the chance, don't buy it. And I turned around and I walked away. And I'm like, let him call corporate. I don't care. But I'm like, literally, my wife was like crying, and you'd think someone had shot her mother. So, but this guy didn't care. He was more concerned about Howard the Duck.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can see where that would be way more important than anything. God.
If that was happening nowadays, somebody would be filming it and putting it on TikTok. Can you believe this guy? He doesn't even know about Howard the Duck, the VHS.
Right. There you go.
I'm totally going to call corporate on him.
Bonds is fired.
Some local idiot beaten to unconsciousness because he won't shut up about Howard the Duck to a man with hysterical wife. It would get 14 million hits. Like I was going to give the guy if he didn't shut up.
Say, and the video would also get 14 million hits.
Oh man, I want to go out and beat somebody up and film it now, so I'll get 14 million hits. I'm going to a total stranger. I want you to provoke me.
Ron, if I get out there, I'll
Welcome
provoke
to the
you.
social
We'll have
media
that viral moment. It'll be great.
You know, it's so fun. I watch all these like crazy situations occur in real life, and I'm like, nothing fun like this ever happens to me. I'm going to walk around the mall and somebody starts with me for no reason. Oh. I was really off the hook for a while there, wasn't I?
Well, but I get to go buy the Howard the Duck action figure and keep it to a rocket and shoot it off on YouTube like I'm sending him home.
Anubis.
Does it have a corkscrew?
Dude, I can go on about duck details, but we're not going to talk about duck details.
It gets up so high, it blows.
Okay, right. That's a whole nother stream. We talk about duck details. Okay. All right, everybody. I'll be live Thursday. Pond, I'm going to send you the link still on Thursday, anyways, in case you remember to check anything. Geek, I hope you remember that Thursday exists because we missed you.
It's possible. I might not. Who knows? I've gone senile in my old age.
We understand that. I mean, you're like 800.
Who are you people?
I mean, either.
We'll see you Thursday if you're sober.
Peace, guys. Take care, everyone. I'll see you soon. Take care.
All right, bye. I'm
Happy trails.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Show with Pons and Dan in a TV flow. Geeks for sure with tales to tell. Every Sunday is pretty swell. Good times here, you'll want some more. Remember days you can't ignore. Kids and family, friends so dear. Join us now, the crew is here. On the auditor, save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, so revere. Shows from days gone by. Epic moments never die. Internet was such a blast. Fun with friends, let's make it last. Time to laugh and time to chat. Geek out hard and that's a fact. Sarah's here to add the spice. Memories that feel so nice. Love the auditor, save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, so revere. Save the world with Sarah at their side. Oh girl, Sunday's fun with joy and cheer. Flip side, flip, let's all revere. These shows from days gone by. Epic moments never die. Internet was such a blast. Fun with friends, let's make it last. Time to laugh and time to chat.